So yeah, I'm basically first line of support, and I send calls to and I try to but yeah, I also like the demo. So yeah, let's now dig deep into the 4-needle-head. And usually how I like to structure this is I want to show you what you could do in the driver manager with the tools, and then show you the details in so whenever you're doing anything with a tool in the driver manager, you do have to attach it to the axis. And I think I'm too short, so I'll go on the back side. And attaching a tool to the tool ring uses the steering hook. So how it attaches is like that. This steering hook here. And if it's a little bit too hard, you can always move the axis to its limit so that it stops. So here it's going to stop. There was
I guess that's something to keep in mind. Make sure it doesn't come down.
yeah, the Z-axis is locked, or at least it should be locked. If it's not locked, there's an issue.
But your X and Y are unlocked right now.
Yeah, they're
You just
unlocked.
manually move it over. Okay.
When it's not initialized, it's a little bit. I guess when we get to the multi-gripper, I'll let you put that tool on because it's kind of easy to put on. These are a little bit heavier, so I'll demonstrate. That's how you put the 4-needle-head on. And once it's locked and engaged, oh, another thing I should say for anybody, I'll say at the end.
Okay, what did you just open? Sorry.
Driver manager.
Okay.
So you can exit out. You can open it via the desktop. I'll just be driver manager.
Okay. And then which one did you pick?
I didn't pick
Oh,
anything
okay.
yet. So in this case, I'll pick the needle tool because that's what I want to engage with. Again, to initialize a node, you have to double click it. For the rest of these tools, I'll have one of you do this. For like the first tool, I'll demonstrate. So once you double click it, it should initialize with some kind of node and subnodes. If it does, you're in luck. If it doesn't, there's a communication issue. But you shouldn't be running into that. Definitely not this early on. So again, similar themes. If you right click, press configure, ignore that configuration tab and go to commands. This is where you can manipulate the 4-needle head. Right now, so it's basically anything you can do with the 4-needle head you can do here. The 4-needle head basically only moves your standard needles around and in like X, Y, and Z. But I wanted to kind of show and demonstrate the hardware aspect of the needle head. So I put up the ChemSpeed Master manual. If you need to ever reference it, it is under Help Topics. And then you can search for needle. I'm searching for the 4-needle head. And if you wanted to, you can read through just specifics on the hardware. But I don't think there's anything super specific. There's not really a max flow rate with these needleheads. Basically, what your syringes are. Oh, it might be help with your pump if you wanted to do a max flow rate with the pump. I think I'll have to get this number, but what is roughly how fast do you want to dispense from your pump? Roughly. Like mils per minute? Like 100 mils per minute? I think it could do 100 mils per minute. I think any faster and you have issues with your standard needles. Let me look at that number and get you that number. But you're looking for very fast dispenses on that peristaltic pump. And I'll cover this again, but your diluter box can actually only go up to times 10 the syringe volume. So if you have the syringe volume of 10 mils, it can go up to 100 mils. I guess if you have 25 mils, it goes up to 250 mils per minute. So I guess your pump itself can also go up to 250 mils per minute. And it might be the case that we don't have the actual values and you'll just have to test it with your pumps. Yeah. So as far as driver manager goes, and your needle tool, you can select the positions you want those needle heads. So this is always written in SI. And the SI units for distance is meters, so you'll just have to do the conversion to millimeters because we don't actually want to work in single meters. So node ID 0 references all 4 needles. And you can see that there. So you look under needle tool and you look at the first node. If you want to do individual needles, it's the sum node. So 0 point Z axis 0 is just 1 needle. So let's do, let's move it down 3 millimeters in Z. I don't know if we can actually see that. It's very small. Let's do a centimeter. Oh. Another thing with any of these tools, you do have to rehome the tool.
Program. If the access has the program can go up or down or something. Eventually it will become set program.
You can do that actually in the editor itself. If you like where exactly you want that for needle head. So we have every single position and every vial on deck modeled. So the instrument knows where it is. All you have to tell it is where to go in reference to that.
Yeah.
Bar.
I'm just thinking as far as the needle, okay, distributing into a jar or a vial.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just going to come down basically to just below, say, inside the top of the vial. Or,
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that will never change once we.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Let's make sure to reinitialize. The reason why I restarted the driver manager and reattached the 4 needle head was because it was not responding previously. So that's what I did. And then small moment. Yeah, and now it's homing. Usually if you have to e-stop the system, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go in driver manager and rehome the 4 needle head. Because usually these needles will be spread out and you can't actually take it back to home. But now we should, with an e-lock, be able to move this 1 centimeter down in Z. So I moved all of them.
Yeah, you said in all of them, so the ID is just
Is 0.
0.1.
Correct.
If we do 0.1, it was only do.
Actually, you would do 0 point Z axis 0 for 1. So you look at these subnodes. It has to be written exactly. So you do node 1 and then subnode. And Z axis 0 is needle 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I just moved needle 1, which is right here, back to 0, using that 0 point Z axis. delta axis is to spread them in the x position. If we're looking at x like this, so let's say half a centimeter. And for spread, you always have to use node 0. You can't spread just one needle. You have to spread all.
Okay. They all go together.
Yeah. So that's a 2 millimeter spread.
And I'm guessing we have a limit. If we try to
Yep.
move beyond the limit, it will just not do it.
The limit is 0.054. If you move it anything more than that, it's just going to give you this error message. The minimum limit is 9 millimeters. So 9 to 54 millimeters. Usually at the end of this, I like to take everything home so I can put it back to its deck. Is there anything in the B valves, the back? So we call it a backing solvent for the diluters, but I guess in your case it would just be oil.
Yeah, we can just be all.
Or, is there anything?
No, I
I don't
really
think-
nothing.
Okay, that's
Maybe
fine.
some residual water, but like
That's okay.
not like enough to make any sort of mess. I would think.
Yeah.
So I'll go over the diluters in Driver Manager then.
Right, and it shouldn't be in that too, right? Yeah, I think all the cubes are on the ground right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Yeah. So if you wanted to manipulate what we call the diluter box, you would go under this Clune driver because that's the manufacturer of it.
What's it called again? I'm sorry. Clune? Okay.
Yeah, just come up.
Okay, got it. So that's the diluter box / syringe pumps.
Yes, flash syringe pumps. Again, to initialize the node, I just double click and then it populates the subnodes with it. Again, right click, configure,
Which one did you click on? The 0 again?
the Clune. So you always usually
click
click
on
on the name of it. Yeah.
And that's right click then.
Yep, right click, configure. Kind of what you have to do every time.
I'm going sorry, but backwards.
And then go to command.
That's always the right way. That
Yeah,
forward.
Yeah, Clune is the diluter box.
Yeah. Big. And then does it say command now?
Yep, so you do the commands tab.
Just a quick
Yeah.
question. Should we rename that diluter box?
We can't. You cannot.
It cannot. Okay, no.
Yeah, you're gonna have to remember
Yeah.
it's hard coded, so no, we can't
Okay.
rename it.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's a Swedish name of some sort.
It's the manufacturer
Oh, is
for
it
the
Okay, alright. Okay. Alright.
flush syringe pumps.
Which is made in Sweden, but that's okay. I just thought that, it's just like, doesn't make any.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
Right.
the rest
No, it
do.
doesn't.
That's the only one that doesn't. So.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I just thought maybe, pretty simple to, we could change.
No,
Okay,
no,
alright.
it's hard coded.
Okay.
I do want to talk a little bit about your diluter box / syringe pump. So I was mentioning this earlier, but it's powered by the pumps for the syringes to aspirate or dispense, but there's also a rotary valve that has 6 points, A to E. Right now, you're only hooked up to 2 ports on the rotary valve. Your A port, which it goes out up here, out through your needles, and then your B valve, which if you follow the line is whatever is in the back of the instrument. We call this the backing solvent, but you can call it the backing oil or like whatever is in the back of the instrument. But if you're talking to us, we're just gonna most people are gonna refer to it as backing solvent just because it's just kind terminology, even if it's not solid, even if it's just
You
so
say
A through E, but you only have 2 ports plumbed, A and B. You can get more ports plumbed via surface. You don't need 6 different types of liquid or solvent. You don't.
So the pump will fill up the delivery
Yeah, so how the process works is depending on whether you want to take it from the backing solvent or from the needlehead, it's just going to pump the syringes wherever it is and then move that rotary valve back. So let's say you wanted to take it from the back, rotary valve changes to B, and then it syringes in whatever is in B, so it takes your B solvent. And then it switches to A, and it always switches to A. In which case it dispenses through these.
Okay, so I guess that I'm not clear on that. So in order for us to get a base oil into jar, it can be done one of 2 different ways or just one way? Okay, so it can come through the syringe one way, and what's the other way?
it can come through the other syringe,
Okay.
the other, or we could put a big jar of it on deck, and we could have it in the pipette.
Okay. All right.